You got to do that in a minute. Let's have a look. Right.
I hope it makes the final cut, you know.
And also turn the phone off. Let's have a look. Only downside, it hasn't actually worked. Why is that not working?
Oh, we are live.
It's live. We're live.
Really? Not at my end.
We're live.
We are live.
Okay, yeah, baby. We are live. There's the ads. That's what we need to know. Can't believe that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
So, yeah, those were the results of Iron House.
That was it. I mean, my God.
Can't believe
Anyway,
I can't believe you guys trusted me with the results. It's amazing.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
what the? All these people in the hey, let me just get underway here by telling you. All right, we have got 150 people already. That's the kind of solid, loyal following we've got here at the Fix, ladies and gentlemen. Paul is connecting to audio. Paul's definitely got some stuff going down. The White Oak is struggling. There he is.
Sorry, guys.
Come on.
I got here as fast as I could. I apologize.
Yeah. Hey, it's all right, mate. I mean, there's a
Perfect
few
time.
ladies disappointed that you ain't shown up in the tank top all oiled and that.
Oh, it's too cold.
Yeah,
It's too
well,
cold
I
out
have to
here.
admit, mate, it is very cold over here.
This is why you put on oil.
Well,
That's a valid point. Vaseline up, it cuts the wind.
that's what you got to do, and the ladies love it, so it's like a win-win, as far as we're concerned. Nice to see Rolly Ray sporting the official Iron House shirt. Look at the size of that man. Hey,
Is that a polo? Is that collared?
they're sort of
That is-
That's nice.
I'm going to do a little plug. They are a polo style sports shirt, breathable.
Nice.
It's my favorite shirt.
Great to
I haven't
go.
washed it.
Mate, they're
Oh.
with the tits.
You
Well,
know
you've
what?
got to keep that essence of,
Oh my god.
yeah. Hey?
Oh my god.
I wore mine for 3 days straight. Mm-mm.
Neil.
So are we gonna get some updates? Like we got a lot of hype going on around
There's
here.
so
I already
much
told
stuff.
everyone they were like, oh, you weren't.
Literally just missed
Brian
it.
knows. Brian's gonna fill you in later. So
I heard some
I can't
secrets.
believe you
I
trusted
mean,
me, Paul.
I don't know.
All I can tell you is this, mate, right? Jordan Davis, all this hype about Australia and never delivering. And then Jordan Davis rolls up and he
Why
cooks,
not?
he cleans. He cooks and cleans, let me tell you. Found so much out about so many people at Iron House, Paul. It was literally, and I'm not joking, like an episode of MasterChef.
So what you're saying is Jordan Davis is the best part of Australia?
Oh,
pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had Lachlan over, so we don't know whether Lachlan cooks and cleans.
Yeah.
But I can tell you now, as far in the kitchen, definitely a contender. No doubt about it, mate.
It doesn't matter what time you walk in. He's cleaning or doing something. I'm like, where are the dishes? He's in the dishwasher. I'm just gonna take him out, dry them, put them out. You want to eat something? I'm gonna cook for everyone.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
a
like
good lad.
legit. And bearing in mind, Paul, probably 87.777% of what we say on this show is complete bollocks.
That's not.
It's true.
That is true.
Legit.
Him and Sandris were in a cook-off.
Oh.
We had like MasterChef, like every day. Sandris making 3-course dinner, and
Wait, so what did you guys stay like in an Airbnb or what? Like what happened? I didn't understand
Like
this.
an extremely large house.
Huge.
You need
huge.
a house of that magnitude, Paul, when you've got Chef Shedis. It's
And
about
I was
to roll out.
sleeping in baby room, not kids
Yeah.
room, baby room.
It was ace.
I hate them.
Ray's bedroom was selected
pink?
specially. Let's just say
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
It was pink.
It was pink, yeah.
With a
And
crib.
it had cats hanging from the ceiling. I do not.
Oh, jeez.
Sandris's room was right next door to him, so he was safe. And in the little bed, we had Rolly, and it was my favorite house. As soon as we got there, we looked around a few. We're looking at him. James was coming back with stuff, and he's saying, "Look at this." We think, no. We saw that one, and we were like, "No, that's it," because it's got a Rolly room, and he loved it.
I'm just gonna put up a bow in.
yeah, double flipped us. There was a lot of things went down, Ryan. Topical things. We broke the world land speed record in bare feet.
Yeah.
as well. That was actually.
I saw that. I saw that in the background. Lachlan's no longer. I thought it was Lachlan at first, but
like he'd run all the way through.
made the trip over. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
traveled the
Amazing.
globe in an instant.
It was truly a remarkable week, let me tell you. We can't go into detail because I don't know about you lads, John and Ray. I've completely forgotten everything that happened.
I don't know, Nick. I have a strong opinion of what happened. Your teasers, I love.
Ryan, and we
can
love
have
your
teasers,
opinion.
We can. Yeah, and I put all my predictions out there to Jordan. I said, "Here's how I think it went," and he just looked at me and just was like, "Interesting."
There is absolutely no way that he did not tell you, Ryan. You're so full of crap.
No,
He definitely told you. I don't believe it.
No way. Jordan doesn't tell me shit, but I think I can read Jordan pretty well. I've told him what I thought happened.
He told you without
told
telling you. Yeah, I know how it is. Sign language is a language too.
we all you need to know, he cooks, he cleans. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who've tuned in specially to see something big.
There's the gorilla.
Corey's so big he cannot fit in a camera.
Cannot fit in the camera.
Hey, brother.
Ladies and gents from the United States of America, joining this intercontinental extravaganza of arm wrestling chat is the very large Mr. Corey West.
I'm enjoying his entrance because it looks like mine on a weekly basis.
Yeah. I feel like if Corey was to come on in a tank top and oiled up, though, there'd be a lot more fur going on. Like a wintered bear. You know what I mean? He's got that kind of thing going on, hasn't he?
I'm jealous, man. This is as good as I can do right here.
Hey, for everybody who's in the chat, you'll know that the title of this was the next big thing. We got Shoulders Todd in the mother fluffing house. Never lets Corey out of sight. Go on, Shoulders. She's in the chat. And we're going to get to these super chats in a minute, guys. I know a couple of them have backed up, but we're also going to be having Derek Smith coming on the show. He'll be joining. He's actually training right now. And he's going to be coming on the show as well. For all of you who are ready to do some chatting, get yourselves over to the armwrestlingforums.com. Armwrestlingforums.com is the place to go and keep the chat going. When you see what you see tonight, if you've got comments to make, armwrestlingforums.com. Get over there. Take it old school. Opinions. A lot of top pullers in there as well, guys. And remember, as always, this show is brought to you by Western Survivor Beef Jerky, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, eh? The greatest beef jerky in the world. www.westernsurvivor.ca. Get over there. Everything will be an inch longer. Now then. So, Corey, Derek's not here yet. This is a perfect opportunity. Because we do this all the time. Just before Ryan dials in, we always talk about it. I don't personally, but Ray and Paul, fuckers on him every week. I'm like, no, on him every week. Now this is a great time for you to, give us a few opinions just before Derek dials in. Okay.
Oh no, we can just all talk about it. I'd just rather say it one time.
It's much funnier though if you do it now, dude. So Derek Smith, impressive outing. I think you'd agree, mate. Impressive outing against Breslin, yeah?
Yeah, no doubt.
Where did you rate Tim prior to the match?
Well, I think Tim said he was about 66% of what he usually is, didn't he? On the last live he was on.
Was that yours?
He said he was 2/3 as strong as when he pulled Levon.
He said compared to when he pulled Levon, he was down about a third. Is what he said on the live.
Okay, yeah. So I need to catch my ass up on that. So Tim came on, he was saying that he wasn't at his absolute best. But one of my concerns around Tim, genuinely, prior to that, was that, and Tim, if you're watching, still love you, dude. I just didn't know how active Tim had been. That's an honest opinion. I said it on last week's show. Didn't know how active he'd been. We did like a whip round. I had Tim winning that match. I thought he was going to win the match. The one sort of caveat I put into that was, don't know how active he's been. And I would have loved to
Tim's
know.
last pull. Yeah, I saw him. He beat Dan Mosier and whatever that state tournament was. He won that supers there, and then I think he took on Dan Mosier in the overalls, and he looked pretty comfortable against Dan Mosier. I think that was the last time we saw him pull.
And obviously Dan's no bum. Very, very dangerous individual indeed.
Oh, Ryan, you think you could beat Tim Bresnan? That's what you just said, pretty much.
Yeah. You be careful. Yeah, you start fires, Ray.
It wasn't. I don't want any drama.
Oh my goodness.
That's harsh, even for the fix. I mean, Ryan comes on here and he takes some abuse, but that is pretty brutal right there. Let's knock over a couple of these super chats, guys, before they go away. So we've got Matt Tickle My Limits, Lara, in the house, and he's been waiting all day for this. How are we all doing, men? I think we're not bad. We're pretty good. Everybody's lighting game's improved. Set me on, of course. But you know, if you look at that, it's a strong game from Ryan. He's really started to compete in the big league of lighting. He's got a neon sign there. I know a little bit about neon signs myself from my time in Holland. Different lights, but you know, similar but the same and all that.
Hang on, I could probably make it look more like. Hang on, see if I can do it.
Well,
is that better?
Ooh.
Does that look more?
I wouldn't have
better
walked
colour?
in there. You know, you're too many freckles. But other than that, very similar lighting, mate. Very, very similar lighting indeed. Just while we're on that, one of my favourite. I like you. Oh, look at this, eh?
Ooh.
The hell! So there's some fine looking mugs you got there, Rolly Ray.
I got two of them. Saunders knew what's up, so he just keep it.
He just said you can keep that.
I can keep this one.
It's very kind of him. Let's carry on with these super chats. Knock a couple of these bad boys over, and we'll wait for Derek to land. As I say, for those of you worried that Derek is not joining, he is coming on. Derek will be with us soon. So Brad Becker with a super chat. Looking forward to more Arm Wars productions, guys. I'm looking forward to showing you more Arm Wars productions after what went down last weekend. Let me tell you now, special things went on in the Iron House, and we will touch on that. We're not going to talk results, but we will touch on a little bit of that as we go forward. Okay, but we got Henry Bowers Law with a super chat. When will pound for pound eye patch come out? That's a lovely.
Oh yeah.
What do you think, man?
I don't have any original ideas, so I'm not sure yet.
Quite a good, like a skull and crossbones sticker for back of your car.
Yeah.
Quality.
Yeah.
Need to do that, mate. Let's sell. Here we go. Matt Tickle My Limits, Larrett. Coach Ray, is there a way to get a step-by-step program from you Latvians? I promise I'll learn to love cats. Personalized plan. Thanks from Florida. I do believe that's possible, isn't it, Ray? You can do something for him, can't you there, mate, if he contacts you?
I don't think Ray's paying attention.
Let me answer
You're
for
on
Ray.
mute, bro. You're on mute.
Paying attention. I just have to check all my messages. It's like I said, I had this Arm Wars depression, so you know it's been a rough week.
Yeah, and we know why it's been a rough week. Uncle John, tell him why it's been a rough week. He's missing people, isn't he? He's on his own. Coach Ray told you, didn't he, just before we came on?
Yeah. Well, aren't you all by yourself in that lonely apartment?
Yes.
Yeah, but you have cats still, right? Or did the cats go?
What, no cats?
Mm-hmm.
They ignore me now. They're just like, again.
Yeah. Just Ray, all on his own with a box of tissues and a bloody big pot of hand cream. And obviously, that what was going on there. He wasn't paying any attention whatsoever. Redden997. Will the Latvians attend the Hardanger Open this year in Norway?
Yes, I can say that. Yeah, I'm going to be there. Vladislaus is pulling with Vios. It's going to all be known. And Christoph Blumans is pulling there as well. So 2 or 3 super matches from Latvia. I'm just going to be there and just, rub backs and be nice to everyone. But yeah, we're going to be there. Can't wait.
Lovely dart. So one for Corey West has just come in. It's Rebecca Shoulders Todd, and she's coming with a, hey, Neil, I've been telling everyone they can't love arm wrestling if they don't love Arm Wars. Subscribe, people. Hey, Corey. A little bit of love going out to the gorilla from Rebecca Todd in the Mother Fluffing house. So, Rando Commando 41, just with a thank you. Thank you, mate. Thanks for your super chat very much. As I say, for those waiting in the chat, we're waiting for Derek to come in. He'll be coming in shortly. Ricky Bobby with a super chat. Uncle John, we love you, but you need a professional lineup. The gap between your mouth is crooked. Closer on the left, bigger on the right. My girl can fix it. Hey, yep, there you go.
Hey, in my defense, it has been illegal in Nova Scotia to have any type of beard or mustache trim for the last year and a half. Illegal.
Shut the front door.
Just so we're clear.
You couldn't go. Can you imagine if that had been the situation for Corey West? Dude would look like a member of ZZ Top that ate the other two members of ZZ Top. I mean, that's a trim
sounds
number
like you're
there.
in the military or something. What's going on there, John?
What do you? It's what I'm in the military. No, if like when you go to get a haircut, you can get a haircut, but you are not allowed to remove your mask at any time during the haircut. So there's no beard trims. There's no there's nothing. So this is the first time I've ever had a mustache in my life, and I'm just out in the ocean, just swimming around, sucking at trying to get a mustache. And now it's kind of a funny thing, so I just do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Could you not like make your own template, John?
I could. You know, if somebody smart's out there, we should all get an Uncle John mustache template. And then you can just put it up to your own face and like marker it in, and we could all be Uncle John.
That's 10%. That's 10% horsepower right there. Todd Hutchings style. Todd Hutchings style.
Yeah.
We could market them. I love it.
I think that works.
Yeah.
I really think that. Write that down. We'll talk about it when we come off.
Done.
So we got Alan Cadrick with a super chat. He's put, well, Ray deserved the kids' room since he's 14 years old, as Neil says. That's the maximum. Good to see you guys, and give a compliment from Ryan's studio. For God's sake, he's waiting for it. Mate, that studio, joking aside, you take some abuse when you come on this show, Ryan. That's a bloody good studio you got there, son.
Man, it's good fun. Hopefully we're going to put it to test this weekend. We're going to try to go live, and we've got a whole bunch of matches. We've got Jake Ward, flying Jake Ward up from Melbourne to be in this room and commentate it all with me. So we're going to have some fun. We'll see what this room can do.
So this is becoming a theme now, isn't it? Because obviously you got Michael Todd doing the same. He's got a lot of matches lined up. We talked about it the other week on the show. He's going to be at his place. It's all the whole COVID scenario has opened the door to that kind of thing, you know. Yeah. And maybe there's a little coin that can be dropped into that pond later tonight when we do get Derek on. Maybe that's a possibility where we could see the gorilla and the game changer. Go at it. Anyway, let's get back to where we were before, ladies and gents, and we'll ask that question to Corey. So, Corey, what were your opinions when you saw the match with Bresnan and Derek? Were you surprised? Because during lockdown, you have had a bit of experience with Derek, haven't you? He came up to see you guys.
Yeah, no, I had a fair opinion that might happen. I didn't know. I've never pulled Tim. I knew Derek was a lot better than the last time him and Tim pulled, and that Tim had been a little inactive. So I didn't really know, I felt like it definitely could have leaned that way. He looked great. I've got nothing bad to say about Derek. I'm not upset that he's ahead of me. I'm just upset that no one, that somehow we've all gotten grouped together. And I'm just the oddball out that everybody's avoiding. I mean, they can avoid each other all they want if they don't want to pull each other, but that's not me, and I don't have anything to do with that. And I don't know. I don't like it.
I mean, just to be, we want to get this out there early doors. On the show, we sometimes have, and on all the shows that we have on here, sometimes you get people on, they've got genuine needle. Probably the biggest example of that's our very own Ryan Blue Bowen and RVJ. Genuine needle, This is not the case with you and Derek. Having spoken to Derek, he's got no needle for you whatsoever. Not when I spoke to him in the prep and the build up for this, when we were talking about coming on the show. He'd only good things to say about you. It'll be, I think, interesting when we have yourself and Derek both on to give your side of the story. And it's nice that you've just spoken straight off the bat, as I expected you would, in the way that you have. That it's nothing personal towards Derek. You've no issue with Derek whatsoever. And I think it's important to get that out there. It's just really, if I'm reading you correctly, mate, your stance on this is that you just want to arm wrestle the guys who you believe are the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous for him or anybody to act like they only want to pull up. I mean, I feel like that's going to open the door for a lot of nightmares down the road. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that look up to Derek that look at this and say, oh, I don't have to pull the guy below me. I won the last time I pulled. I deserve to pull up. I mean, I just don't see how that's a good example or how that can work for everybody.
I suppose it comes down to the validity of the rankings. I mean, Paul, what's your opinions on that, mate?
I mean, I was talking about this the other day with Rob Vigin and a couple other people in other conversations. I think we're in like a weird impasse where everything that's happening right now, which is awesome. Like Mike's having an event, Ryan's doing pay-per-views. We have all these super matches, but we, just like Travis says, we don't have that elite level tournament where we can throw everybody in a bracket and figure it out. So I don't think that like the position that we're in right now is bad. I think it's awesome, especially for viewers, but I think it does make the decision as to who you pull a tricky one. Mm-hmm. So you can take the Todd Hutchings approach and say, it's 100% about money. I'm a professional arm wrestler. You pay me enough and I'll show up. Or you're weighing a bunch of pros and cons when you're deciding on a match. And it makes it tricky for that guy above to accept a dangerous match, or, you know, the guy below who's dangerous to get a match. So without the tournament that everybody wants to be at, we wind up with these situations. And I mean, I think I have a lot of opinions on this specific situation. And we can get into it later when Derek gets on, but I think there's two sides to look at it. And I think they're both very interesting because like Corey said, himself, Derek, and Chance have been lumped into the same basket. And there's a lot of people who want to know who the man is out of that group, but then the collective. And, you know, Neil, you talk about the buildup all the time, and you know how important it is to match people up and make matches good. It really is a weird situation, but I also feel for Corey big time for this specific instance, because I think Derek's leveled up, but I think Tim was an extremely good stylistic matchup for Derek to win.
I'm not going to go to Ray straight off the bat because he's clearly on fake taxi. So we'll move on to John for a moment and just get John. Go on, Ray. Sorry, pal.
I think ratings are nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. I just look at this whole situation and I look at the, people trying to put up rankings for world when they cannot figure out USA rankings. Come on, let's be honest. It's ridiculous. How about we figure out who the number one guy is and everyone else just keep on fighting until they become that number one guy? I think it's just, look, so someone puts someone ahead.
The fans are always going to want it, though. The fans will want it. You got to give them something.
Oh, of course, you show up and you have a match. But when they start, like, the whole situation is kind of ridiculous. I don't know who ranks higher. Which one of you knows who ranks higher?
It's all very subjective. It's all very subjective. It's
exactly.
Very clear.
How about I agree with Paul. We need tournaments. We need guys pulling. And I think Jerry posted when someone put him out of the rankings or put him, somewhere. You have to pull. You have to be active to be put on rankings. A lot of guys are there just having one match a year. How ridiculous that is. How ridiculous. As soon as you don't pull a year, get the F out of there. Someone else comes in your place. You're angry, you go and pull. And if you want to make money, you look for the matches that's going to give you that money. So as soon as you pull the guy, you can come back right in those rankings. But it's just, I looked at this whole thing on the internet. I'm like, this is silly. This is so silly,
So as far as the rankings go, and anybody on here can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the United States has like 2 primary rankings, maybe 3 total. A lot of people follow In the Hook. Corey and I are actually on the group chat for that one. From the beginning, I said, I can give insight, but I don't want to make any decisions. Yeah. I can give insight only for the Northeast. But I get to read the group chat and everything. And I think what was agreed upon in that specific ranking was, if you beat the guy, you take his spot. But there's still gray area there. So you can do it that way where it's cut and dry. And then the rankings people can say, whoa, that's just the rules. You beat the guy, you take his spot. And then it cuts out the flack that the rankings people are going to get. But the reality is usually the most accurate rankings are the ones done by somebody with a wealth of knowledge who follows absolutely everything and puts in their own subjective opinion. But they're the ones that get the most scrutiny. And I think that's where it gets really, really tricky.
Yeah,
sorry, go right.
The world rankings done by a panel of 20 subjective opinions. I don't mind that process. Like the North American you could have a system of 10 people in the USA or something like that each put in their vote number, everyone 1 to 10, and you just add the numbers up.
That's how the other one's done.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
how arm fighters do it.
that's how it was initially done. Because I was asked to do that as well, and they wanted top 15 in like the country ranked out for like metric scale weights, and I said, sorry, I don't know enough. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's how they established the other one.
Yeah, that is, and I was in your same position, Paul. They asked me, I did it for a little while, but I was in the same boat. I just don't follow. Like after 5, things get foggy, really foggy. And I like the effort, but it's not for me. The big thing behind this, though, is everyone keeps forgetting that we've literally had 2 years where huge pockets of the world have been able to do absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Right. And a lot of places, it seems, in America have forgotten that because America kind of moved on from COVID like a year ago, where in lots of other places, it's just not possible to be as active. And I'm not saying that's good, bad, or otherwise. I'm just saying it is. And if you are concerned with rankings, hold on to your balls, because it's going to get a lot worse. As we become more active, things are going to be jumping all over the place. So just be ready for more and more craziness.
Yeah, the rankings for me are always going to be flawed in arm wrestling at this point in time, because they're drawn from so many different strands. They're drawn from so many different areas of functionality. I mean, you know, one guy gets his ranking from a main draw tournament, another one gets his ranking because of his performance in a super match that had 6 rounds under a certain rule set, and other ones under a different super match over a different duration and a different rule set. It's kind of strange. It's very, very hard to get a standard set of rankings. The other weird thing for me is that I don't necessarily pay too much attention to them. I'm in the same camp as Ray in that respect, because in the nicest possible way, you know what I think about the all styles make matches thing. And it always comes back to that. So because you'll say, okay, well, you know, Toddzilla beat Corey. Well, could Toddzilla beat Derek? I don't know. Could he? What do you think, Ryan? Can that happen?
Yeah, of course could.
Okay. So it's not necessarily pulling down then. Now, where I think Derek might be coming from, and probably is coming from, is because Derek's no dummy. He's got mega momentum at the moment on the internet, and the people outside of the sport of arm wrestling, that momentum counts. So for a man like him who's trying to develop his internet presence, his social media presence, then sure, he wants to ride that all as far as he possibly can. And if he gets matches against more well-known names, then he probably believes that he's going to get a lot more momentum in that area and earn himself some more money. And so it begins, you know. Can't knock the lad for that in some respects.
It depends on his motivation, because I believe the match between him and Corey is a big time hype generator.
Draw. I do too, mate.
That's the counter argument. Like if you're shooting for the stars and you're aiming at world rankings, like if that's your motivation, okay, totally understood. But if your motivation is to continue internet clout, make some money, continue, you know, your name being on the tip of anybody's tongue, then I think that match makes a whole lot of sense, especially because, you know, Corey trains with Michael, and Michael is the second leading arm wrestling YouTube channel and an international presence, and that event is going to be really, really hyped. So I mean, it's almost low hanging fruit if you want to.
I suspect that Derek is excited about a match with Corey, and would be for all those reasons that you mentioned. But there's something about finding where your ceiling is on well-known and established standards that is valuable to your own progression. And Derek doesn't know what Corey's level is. Even if Corey is the man to beat Derek, we don't yet know that what Corey like Corey compared to Dave Chafee is a very different standard. We know what Dave is. Like he's just Dave because he's been Dave forever. Corey's on the rise, so it's grey. We don't know where Corey's level is. It's obviously immensely high. It could be above Derek. It could be above Tim. We don't know. It's above Aslanov, which Aslanov's a hugely strong and reputable puller. So he's right there. They're neck and neck. And I think Derek would agree with that. But I understand why, given that he just beat Tim, he wants to to find a loss that shows him to himself exactly, all right, okay, that's a clear measure. And then I'm sure he'd be happy to pull Corey. I'm sure he'd be happy to pull Corey now, but I get why he wants to touch and probably lose to someone that has a standard and established measure.
Right. And I track that. And I think that's really, really valid. Like, all right, now, like I did this, you know, I got this hype, I got this rank, you know, I'm on a world ranking and I want to go grab somebody from overseas to see what that's about. But I mean, I'd ask Corey, do you think Derek knows your level?
Good time to come in, Derek.
Yeah.
Derek, just turn your phone on its side if you can, big balls. There you go. Now you can see.
Wait, what's that?
There you go. We can see you in all your beauty now, son.
I'm literally at practice right now. Norwegian champ practice. I can't even pronounce his last name. Bjorkton. I don't know how to say his last name. But he won IFA and he's a beast. Anyway. Yeah. I can't. Yeah.
I mean, you could have called my mama a hoe in that first couple of seconds there, because I don't know about the rest of the guys on this call, but I could not hear a goddamn thing you said
that was
at all. But
somebody
we were doing the right
not a problem, mate. Have you been catching any of the show, or have you just been focused on training over there?
I was training. I'm sorry. I just ran in. I'm here now. That's it. The service isn't great. It's not great.
Brief recap. We were talking about your motivation, which we want to, before I go any further, I wanted you to just jump straight in with both feet if you can a little bit. Corey's put his point across and where he's at, and he just really wants to get in there and get some matches done. And you're a match that makes sense in his mind, and we talked about that a little bit. I wanted you to just sort of set the record straight on your side of things, your motivation for the pursuit of certain matches in favor of or in preference to pulling Corey. How do you sort of break that down, mate? Just sort of succinctly put that together for us.
It's just, I think a lot of it stems from where I came from in terms of like my beginning in the sport. I mean, I've been around for 11 years. Like I don't, you know, in so many words, I've eaten crap for 11 years. Like I've done my tournaments, I've gone to Worlds twice, I've flown around, and I've put in my time in the sport. And so now, like, for me, I'm like a prep guy. I love prepping and getting ready for something and attempting. So when I was ready to start trying to climb these ranks after me paying my 11 years, my dues, and getting destroyed everywhere by everybody and having super matches and getting 3-0'd by John Brzezinski and Devin Laird and Tim Bresnan. And finally it was like, okay, time to start trying to climb these rankings. Let's start turning our eye on it and really focusing on it. And like just doubling down on efforts and looking at it. And I had practiced with some of the guys from between 20th and all of them. I practiced with basically everybody at some point. And so I had a general idea where I thought I might have been. I was like, okay, I feel like I'm around 10th-ish, somewhere in there. I didn't know specific names. I just felt like strength-wise, I feel like I could be around there. And instead, but I had history with Tim, you know? And so I figured, hey, let's shoot up. Let's shoot pretty high up. I had vendetta with Tim anyway. I wanted to see if I could solve that and give myself something to aim for, really. So in no way was I focusing on anybody else but myself and trying to beat Tim Bresnan and reconcile that match. And so I could even admit at the time it was a huge jump. Like what Chance put me at 19th for no reason. Like I didn't even beat anybody to become 19th or 20th. Chance just put me there. And then so technically you would even say I was unranked, right? So it's not like there was anybody behind me trying to get matches with me all the time. Michael Todd had brought up having a match with Corey West. Definitely got brought up before. I had my match with Tim 100%. But like I said, I've seen the same 5 to 7 names at the top of that list for 11 years. Like I've seen the same guys destroying, and everybody always talks about it. Oh, America only has the same old guys, you know, beating everybody all the time, right? It has to be, they need some new blood. So I turned my attention to that. And like, that's what I've been focused on for a long time, like eventually beating them and climbing. So I made a huge jump, an attempt. And it wasn't like I looked past Corey or anything like that. It's just, he hadn't been up there for 11 years like everybody else had. That's the guys I wanted. So I took a gamble, got a match, and ended up working out, luckily. And that's it. That's literally all the thought that was put into it. And that's why I didn't take a match with Corey before. And then now, like I said, I'd love to pull Corey. I just want it to be right. And I have good momentum right now. So I kind of want to wait until like it makes sense.
When you say good momentum, is some of your, I'm going to be careful how I say this really, is some of your leaning towards the fact that you want to build up your social media presence and you're trying to sort of boost that with the biggest, most widely known name possible?
No, 100%. If all I cared about was that, then I would take a match with Corey West right now. That's what everybody wants to see. You know what I mean? So no, I was telling my viewers on my YouTube channel the other day, I go, guys, like, I love you to death, but this is my journey. And I hope you guys come along with me on my journey. This is not anybody else's journey. This is nobody else going to choose my journey for me. This is my journey. And if you guys want to come along with me and watch my process of achieving hopefully what I want to achieve, then awesome. But in no way am I going to be bullied in some matches that aren't, that I'm not excited for, or just for views, things like that. Now, if there's time, or I feel like I hit a roof and I'm like, okay, I need to dial back, train, and get ready, then I want to take some matches for sure. Like I'm open to pulling down or whatever you call it. Like, I'm just saying, like, for now, it's like, you had a good match against Tom, good match against Tim. I kind of want to see where that goes a little bit and test the roof, find out where the roof is at, and then take some matches. But
do you consider it? In no way, consider it pulling down, Derek? In your words, I know other people have said 100%. That. So okay, so you I don't know why you keep accusing me of that. I just said right. Yes. I just think it does. The only problem I have is it has to be my very next match. I have to get an awesome win, have a good momentum, and then stop immediately and take and then start immediately turning all my prep and everything for somebody else. Like, I want to take my prep towards moving up for right now. The moment that stops, I will 100% take a match down. And like I said a billion times, it'll be Corey. If Corey will still have me as a match, 100% it'll be Corey. No problem with that at all. Not at all. I want to see how strong I am. I want to keep going for right now. I don't know. Like, people, I don't see a problem with it. Okay, so
I think you guys will face 100 times over the next decade. Like, I really think that's inevitable. I feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, you two are going to be probably the top 2 ranks in North America at some point. I think it just seems that you got age on your sides, you got time on your sides, you both got the physical potential to do it. It's just a matter of time. It seems like as everyone else phases out, you guys are phasing in, so it's inevitable. I think the matches will come, and I think the fans shouldn't stress about the next step having to be you guys. It will come soon enough.
I kind of agree and disagree with that, Ryan, in some ways. I think sometimes there's a degree of excitement and buzz surrounding a scenario, and it's nice in any sport if you can capitalize upon that at that time. If you look at something like the UFC, there was almost a romance around Chuck Liddell, if you remember back in the day, because he was the guy that literally would fight anybody. And fight up, fight down, fight sideways, couldn't give a shit. It was like, he will clean out the division. If you want to fight in the yard, any way you want. And there was almost like the fans and the supporters of the sport did flock behind him because of the fact that he was just so happens that he did reach the pinnacle, but he reached it in an almost more dramatic fashion because of the fact that on the way he smacked the shit out of everything that moved, and there was something in that. And that was, I'm not saying that's the right way, but it was his way, and it was a way that was very, very strong, and it really built a massive fan base around him, It built a degree of myth and legend. But I wanted to bring Corey back in straight away, mate. After hearing Derek say that, what's your immediate response to that or thought? Nothing you didn't know, or?
Man, I mean, there's been so many promoters reach out about it. I've probably got countless messages about it. There were people messaging me the day that he done the interview with Devin. They were like, Derek's never going to pull you. He's gonna beat Tim, and he's not gonna pull you. I mean, I know that's not coming from Derek, but it just, you hear it over and over and over. And a lot of this did start with the chant stuff, and me and Derek did talk about that some. A lot of my frustration stemmed from the rankings, and that was a little naive. I probably only really regret one thing about it, and it's giving a shit about the rankings. I mean, Chance made those decisions to make those moves without talking to that committee that Paul Lynn was talking about, which is fine. Like I said, the problem was never that Derek was in front of me. My question to Chance was that if I beat Tim in as dramatic fashion with more wins against top 20 opponents, if that would put me above Derek, if that would put me behind Derek, if Derek doesn't take a match with me and I beat Tim just as bad with beating 8 of the other top 20 guys, does that put me in that position? I don't even care at this point about that. I don't care to be on the rankings at all at this point. I I do still have a lot of drive to prove that I'm the top guy coming up right now.
Is your strategy gonna almost emulate what I was talking about there with Chuck Liddell, in that you'll knock over anyone and everyone?
Yeah, I mean, I've pulled down. I mean, I've been where I'm at for a long time. I mean, and I actually asked them, you know, whenever this whole rankings, Paul Lynn can tell you, whenever this rankings thing really got jumbled up, they put me above Toddzilla, and I made it a point that I did not want to be above Todd Hutchins. Like, that didn't seem right to me, and obviously I was correct. We pulled. It didn't work out that way. You know, I was behind it. I've pulled a lot of people below me. I mean, I guess we just have different, like you said, different paths. I don't mind to pull anybody. I was supposed to pull Mike Aiello. What is he like? He's not in the top 10. Pulling Carl Stanley. I mean, these are just opportunities that come up. And, you know, whenever I get a chance at someone that's above me, that's great. But I'm not going to pick and choose what I get and what I don't. And I'm going to take what, you know, what's offered to me and move on. So,
Derek, have you got much more of a, you know, 3-year plan? Have you got sort of now, do you see, because obviously your potential is massive. Everybody can see that. You know, you've been one of the guys that's often been talked about as, oh, if that guy ever wakes up, if he realizes his true potential, God knows where he can go. Similar to Alex Kadetcha in that way. But do you have a next steps plan? Do you have guys that you, in your mind, want to knock over and in a set order?
In a set order, no. I mean, this last week has been like kind of crazy in terms of, you know, that question exactly, kind of me trying to see exactly where I'm looking. And now that they somehow put me on the top 12 or top 15 world rankings, I'm like, oh, well, there's that list now, you know, too. But I feel like, I mean, I really like the trying to get ready for Dave Chafee. Just the thought of me prepping for Dave and what I'd be like, hopefully on the day that I would face Dave, and even into following Corey's footsteps in that matter. You know, I mean, he pulled Dave, you know, and I feel like that's, man, if you have anything for Dave Chafee, like, you're ready for the big show. You know what I mean? And so I really like the idea of that match. I know a lot of people want to see me pull Todd Hutchins, but Todd seems like he's busy right now. He has a lot going on. And when I talked to Todd, he definitely didn't say no, that he wouldn't pull me at all. But the vibe, the feeling I was getting from Todd was that he said, hey, I'm with you trying to beat those guys. I'm with you trying to get ready for Dave Chafee and those, like, that's how he worded it. And so I was like, okay, you know, and I already talked to Dave, and Dave said he's willing to take a match with me, you know, just set it up and get it right. So on American soil right now, like, that's definitely the number one thing I'm looking at. But man, that list, that world rankings list looks entertaining. I'm like, look at those names, they're crazy, crazy names. I don't even know if I should be on that list, but I am. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, like, those are looking like a lot of fun matches. But before we get too far on this, hey, Ray, can I have my applause?
Where are you on that list in your head, Derek?
12.
Brutally honest, where do you see yourself?
Dude,
for real?
I don't think I should be on the list. Like, I mean, honestly, like, I know I beat Tim, but like, I'm looking at the names. He put me above Gennady Kvitvinia and Arif. Like, wow. And that Gennady's one of my favorite pullers of all time. He's like my top 3 favorite arm wrestlers of all time. And I'm like, man, I mean, and who knows? Maybe I am, but if you guys follow my stuff, I pretty much always undersell myself because I don't really know. And I like that because it makes me train way harder. But like, it's just crazy for me to even imagine being on that list. You know, it's just wild. But I mean, I'm gonna do my best to try to get in there and work my way up it. But it's just crazy for me to even think I'm on that top 15 list. But I'll pretty much, even if I get number 2, I'll probably pretty much always say that I don't know if I should be on this list. Like, this guy, I have so much respect for all the guys on there. It's crazy. They're so amazing. But you know, I'm honored that I was even considered for it. And I want to not let the rankers and people watch me down. So I'll be as ready as I can be for any of those matches, 100%. You know, you guys think I'm big now? Wait till I take one of those matches. Ray, where's my apology, Ray? Ray, where's my 6-0 apology?
6-0 apology? I apologize.
He said Derek's gonna get 6-0.
Dude, it was great. Nothing else to say. Uncle John asked me, and I was like, I think Tim has it, because you have to prove yourself, and you proved yourself. So, yeah.
But I had a good day. I was on that day.
Yeah, you looked really good, mate. Very, very impressive.
Thank you.
Very impressive. I was interested to see where you rated yourself, and I know you're a very modest individual in that respect. But I really want, in the quiet times when you were sat alone in your training facility at home, do you think, you know what, I can take so much confidence from what I've just done. I really see myself as there. And let's be right here. If you're looking at guys, you've been around this sport long enough to weigh up guys and think, okay, this particular person from that top list suits me stylistically. Now, my next question was going to be pretty much based around that. Tim Bresnan may or may not have been selected based on that consideration. Would Dave Chafee fall into a similar realm? Because the man is incredibly strong, but not the fastest guy out of the blocks.
I no. Sorry. The Tim one, no, it was because I felt Tim. Tim 5-0'd me. Like our last outing, he just owned me. It wasn't even close. So but I felt like I knew where his brick walls were, where his strongest suit was. So I felt at least comfortable taking a match with Tim in terms of what I didn't want to do with him, at least, and then I hope to God what my plan would work out, and it did, but it wasn't stylistically, because you think when you grab a hold of Tim, this is going to be the easiest top roll of my life, because he grabs you low with a little hand. You're like, oh, I'm going to bust that hand back, but that's what he wants, and he just destroys top rollers all the time. So my plan wasn't to top roll him. It turns out his wrist gave out in some of my movements, but that I wasn't at any point trying to roll him out. I was trying to go sideways and high, and his wrist ended up giving out at the end. But stylistically, no. I mean, if I was looking at stylistically, it'd be like a more of a deep inside puller, a shorter arm guy. I would think. So like a match with Krasny seems like, just from the outside, stylistically, I'm like, okay, something like that seems like I could really post high and do some high angled stuff with him, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to do that either. I feel like my prep for Dave, you just have to be consider you have to be strong enough to Chafee, I think. If you ever want to make an attempt at Levon, you have to be strong enough to mess with Dave Chafee. If you ever want to go for Vitali, if you can't mess with Dave, then you have no place in my mind, even looking at any top level, top 5 level, So
you obviously felt extremely awkward, mate. I mean, again, take this as it's meant, but I was sort of surprised. I don't know whether disappointed, but certainly I was surprised that Tim seemed to me, at least, and Tim might say, Neil, that's not the case at all. I tried this, I tried that, but similarly to when Todd pulled Zoloyev, I think that he had an opportunity to try different things, and for whatever reason, he didn't fire. And it seemed to me like Tim, either by his own choosing or by your awkwardness, you kept him in one lane, or certainly seemed to. When I watched that thing back, it looked to me like he was pretty monotechnical on that approach. He didn't really do a lot else. I haven't had a chance to speak to Tim and get his opinions on that, but I don't know. He didn't seem like he went through a spectrum of different options there. He seemed like it was one lane and you just closed that down. I don't know. I think we lost Derek.
I can speak to what Tim said about the match. I had myself, Evan Burgoyne, Tim, and Derek all on the live a couple of days ago.
Perfect.
And Tim was very specific in saying he was disappointed in himself because he felt like he just did the same thing 6 times in a row or 5 times in a row, whatever it was. And that was the number one thing that he kept going back to, is like, I feel so dumb that I wasn't able to switch things up. Now, how you interpret that is up to yourself, but that's what Tim was kind of going for.
Did he say anything that was because he was shut down from doing stuff, though, because of Derek's style, or did he not elaborate?
I don't know, Derek. Do you remember exactly what Tim said? He really, to me, he was disappointed in that, and then he focused on kind of the idea that he was not nearly as strong as he had been in other previous matches. Do you remember that, Derek?
I tend to, yeah. I remember having the conversation with Tim in terms of his horsepower and things like that, and where he thought he was the day of. In terms of him stylistically, like not changing it up. With my long arm, I tend to give you resistance in a really weird spot. I tend not to try to fight you completely center table. And so like the match will start and you'll feel very little from me, and you get almost to your side and you're in a weird spot where you think you have it, and then the horsepower kicks in. And because I was attempting to all I cared about was Tim's hand, right? Really attacking his hand. So I can attack your hand like open or kind of tight. It's not a big deal as long as I get good purchase. So I feel like you feel successful. So why change it up if you feel successful all the way to here? And then you're like, okay, now I want to switch up my move. So I think it might have been something like that because I wasn't giving him much resistance until I was ready to give him resistance, which kind of lulls you into a move. But also, and so by then he's already in his traditional move, pulling back. And then he's like, well, oh shit. And then I grab him. You know what I mean? Type of thing. So I think it might have been something like that. Me giving him, not intentionally, but my style giving him a false sense of he has this until it's too late type of thing. But I don't know, man. That's on him in the moment. He obviously made a style change round 2 where my hand went back and then he went back to what he was doing before right after that. So I can't say what was in his head. I know he was talking to his son in between rounds and his son was trying to tell him to grip me differently and adjust. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't.
So who do you think stylistically represents a more difficult match for you? Would it have been Tim, or would Corey be a more difficult proposition for you stylistically, mate? When you look at Corey, how do you see that match? Because fair to say you guys have pulled a little bit in the same way that you have with Tim. Have you sort of done your mental homework on that? Do you think that Corey represents a difficult match for you? Or is he stylistically quite suited?
Oh, Corey's super strong and super awkward. I mean, I think in a sense, to be at any top level, you have to have some weird things going on, some weird angles that you're strong at, and some awkwardness that people aren't kind of ready for. In our limited time we practiced, I was able to feel like his angles he likes at least a little bit, and where his horsepower really kicks in, and like what's really scary, and and what maybe could be an option. So I would think, but I guess Corey. It's just like I said, Tim is so awkward. So I would think Corey would pose a bigger threat stylistically with me. Because I feel like it'd be really hard to top roll Corey if I decided to do that. I'd have to really grind out deep for that because he's used to people trying to run from him. So you sometimes you just have to buckle up your britches and go for it. And so I guess Corey stylistically. But like I said, I never had a match. I had a match with Tim, so I had a lot of information on Tim. Mm-hmm. And I haven't had a match with Corey.
Just quickly, Corey, same question, same soup warmed over, mate. When you look at Derek and the crop of guys that are out there that you've said you want to get active and pull these guys, where does Derek feature in terms of the level of difficulty and the threat that he represents? I mean, do you see him as like the biggest banana skin out there in terms of hardest up and comer to pull? Is he harder to pull than Chance Shaw? Is he harder to pull than a lot of the names and faces that we're used to seeing out there?
Oh, yeah. I would think right after, the main 4 names that he would be the toughest guy. There's no doubt about it. I'm not saying I can beat him. I'm just saying that I think, Derek can probably answer better than I can, or the same as I can. How many promoters reached out to you about that, me and you, in the last 6 months?
I'm not even dodging it. I know I have been. I know Mike. I know Mike asked me a few times to come out there at the Monster Factory. Mm-hmm. I'm really bad with names. I know I was reached out to, but honestly, I don't know the number. I really don't. I can't remember who, but I know I was asked. I was asked a couple times.
Yeah, I've been asked a lot. Obviously Italia and Breida reached out. Michael.
Breida. Breida reached out.
Yeah. I just think that, everybody wants to see it. It should, it's whatever. I know you're not going to take the match, so it's not even really worth discussing at this point right now, but,
I'm going to take the match. I'm going to take the match for the next match. If you're still interested after I'm done, then we're going to talk about having a match if you're still interested. I'm not afraid at all to arm wrestle someone. What's the worst that can happen? You get pinned. I'm not gonna die. Like, who would be afraid to arm wrestle?
I never said anybody was afraid. I just think that I don't know. I mean, obviously, like Chance said, there was no amount of money that he would pull me for. You've heard him say it, right? I think you got grouped in on something. Do what?
Yeah, I said, I think I saw him say that. I think.
Yeah. I don't know. So it just seems like somewhere along the lines you got grouped in on that, and everybody was like, "Why won't you pull these guys?" And I'm like, "I'll gladly pull these guys. When are we going to do it?" And then I don't know. It just.
I first off, I love the match, and I might hit a little monologue here and get on my help Michael Todd promote thing, mainly because I just want to hang out with you two guys in Arkansas. But I think that the match is awesome and would absolutely love to see it in March. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I think it, again, when we start talking about like money and stuff, like when you like it. In the United States, with what's going on, the lack of tournaments and all these different things on, it really does come down to motivation. So when I hear somebody say I wouldn't do it for any number, I think that that's almost a little bit far-fetched because everybody has a price. So the reality of it is, the prices that are being offered a lot of times for matches, and I deal with it personally. When I'm offered a match, I look at where is it geographically? What does my calendar look like? How much time do I spend away from my family? How much time do I take off of work? And I come out basically with a monetary value or just like a value proposition. Like, is this worth it for me to do that? And that's how I make my decision. And I know a lot of people I keep coming back to Todd because he's a professional arm wrestler and he sees it in that light. But then you also have the other approach of like, all right, what are your goals? If your goals are to climb, then maybe it's not monetary. But I still do believe that the problem with making matches, especially in this current environment that arm wrestling's in, is that there's not enough money to entice people to not have a decision. Because if somebody says to you, I'm gonna give you 5,000, I'm gonna give you 10,000. Now all of a sudden things change. You're like, honey, I'm not gonna be home that weekend, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Derek.
Yo.
Hey, whenever we do it, we can, just so there's something, you know, it's not just like you're coming down to me. We can pull for that left-handed spot too.
Yeah, we need to have that left-handed match. Hey, well, actually, that reminds me. I did that same. You know that when I beat Abo, he was 7th. He was above you and Paul Passmore. And Chance was gonna put me at 7th. I said, no, don't put me above Corey and Paul. I had him move me down to 9th. And I did the same thing that you did.
I tried to get him to take me out of it. Paul can tell you whenever my bicep tore, but they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Guys, let's just knock over a couple of super chats. We got Krigaviklund in the chat, Swedish Arm Wrestling Television. He's put, I'm going to be at the Hard Anger Open as well, so I'll see you there, Coach Ray, and buy you a beer. He picks Vios for the win all day. That'll be popular in Latvia. Good to see you, Krieger. Thanks for your super chat, mate. Yeah, that's a big match going on there. Vios against your boy Vlad. I'm taking it you pick the other way, Ray.
Always.
Cobra Rhodes, the legendary Cobra Rhodes in the chat. But Paul is a savage the way he competed against Mr. Brzezinski, the GOAT. So respect there to Paul Lynn, the White Oak, from the one and only Cobra Rhodes. Ricky Bobby is in the chat again. Thanks, mate. He's put, if you make a template of the John Tash, you owe me that 5%. 5% is everything.
I'll give you the 5% if you make the template. I'm way too lazy.
There you go, son. It's all about the money. Bruce Smith, my pay-per-view money paid for a lame 70s sign, and for some reason his mic still sounds like garbage. Ask John for the tips. Maybe it's the salty air in Oz. What do you say to that? He's put his red light on. Right!
Oh, yeah. There it is. That one of them. Is that what he wanted?
Put on the red light. Those days are over.
Get more expensive. You got to come up with better insults if you want one of them from here on in.
That's the first double flip tonight, isn't it, mate? Bruce Smith, we love your super chat, mate. You keep them coming. That's the first little dig. No, second little dig at Ryan tonight, which is, I believe, a fixed record. I'll just check in.
Ray, is that a record?
I think it is. We're almost an hour in, so
yeah. Usually we've had like
3 times.
Oh.
I think his setup is taking a lot of heat away from him. You know,
he alone would have done more than that.
Let's not forget, we were chanting Ryan's name at Arm Wars.
Oh, don't tell him. I mean, that was maybe the comedy classic moment of all time. We'll send him a little link to that at some point. But Morton Erickson with the super chat. Mate, thank you so much. He's put you deserve this. It's my kids' milk money. I mean, that's made me feel really bad. Well, thanks a lot. Love the live show, mate. Cheers. Morton, you're a star. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it.
It's going to be calcium deficient.
Yeah, calcium deficient kids. It's all my goddamn fault. Phil Woody UK. Corey will become US #1. Can't keep a good guy down. So some support for the gorilla from Phil Woody UK. We got White Wolf in the chat. Corey, no disrespect. Oh, this is going to be bad. Whenever anybody, because we know, people always start on Ryan super chats, and they always then go,
I was my boy.
Yeah, that's what happened. So he's put, Corey, no disrespect. You seem like a super cat. Just go win shit. Feck the BS ratings reminds me of the Olympic freaking judges. 10 from the Russian judge. Here you go, son. Look at that. Calm and serene. Didn't ruffle him. Armwrestling Bible with a super chat. He's put Derek and Chunks check under their beds at night for Bogeyman Corey West. Come on, be real.
Where's the video? Armwrestling Bible, where's the video?
We need Corey dial in, son. Come on. So we got Hermes Graspaweenie. 7 deep inside. I dig it. Yes, absolutely. Snow White did. SG Records. I vote Pradeep inside on this show. Come on. Oh, I've upset Pradeep. Apparently, yeah. I was driving home, guys, and we stopped for a Starbucks. I put a little message on. We pulled down the road further down, went to Kentucky Fried Chicken. At this point, you're probably realizing my diet's a bit wank. I put a little message on. Pradeep has asked me a question, and I haven't answered it, and he starts to get a little bit upset. He's like, okay, Neil don't want me on his show. It's clearly obvious. So then, I mean, he shouldn't have said that. What a dick. As soon as he said that, I'm like, and I'm going to keep this going. So I just carried on, and I thought I'm not going to respond. Shit, now on that one. So Pradeep got really upset. I've upset him. It's a goddamn shame. So he retracted his invite ever. So I will never feature on Arm Wrestling News, guys. And for that alone, I'm deeply regretful. It's a goddamn shame. SG Records. I vote Pradeep on this show. We won't get me on his, mate, so it's going to have to be that way, innit? There's no other way around, so that's the way it's got to be. We got the amazing Mr. Percolate 80 with an incredible super chat, as usual. Can I also say, Mr. Percolate 80, dude, send me over your name and address. Email it, supernaturalstrengthchannel@gmail.com. That's supernaturalstrengthchannel@gmail.com. You won the shirt competition the other week, mate, so I need your details. Please do so. Absolutely love that guy. Mr. Percolate 80, massive support of the channel. Really appreciate it. Sean Crowder, Matt Mask versus Tim Bresnan has been confirmed. Yes, it has, and we were talking about that before we came on. April 9th in Vegas. What's your guys' opinion on that match? So we'll pick that up straight away. As soon as we finish these super chats, we'll get straight onto that and go around.
I think Derek's trying to say something. You trying to say something?
Derek, I got 45 people.
Get rid of these, and then I'm going to come straight to you. Stephen Pena. Neil, love you. Hermes hasn't... Oh, controversial stuff. Hermes hasn't been in the top 5 in the world in years. So how does Alex Cadetti become top 5 by beating Hermes? Paul, please smother Ron Bath. So you got a little bit of love from Pena. I think that might be taken care of by Angie Rose. So don't worry. Zebedee Kawhi, and he's put, Derek and Corey will be plentiful in the future. Let them figure it out where they stand at present with current top dogs. P.S. Ryan's set looks great. A lot of love coming in for the Bowen boy. Hey, what about that? My personal favourite super chat here, apart from Mr. Perkley 80, because it was worth as much as a house in Slovakia. And this one just says Arm Wars, and it's from Zitite. Mate, love you. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it. And we're going to go back to that question, Derek. You go, mate. You had something you wanted to get off your chest.
No, I was saying I got like 45 people waving at me, trying to get me back to practice, and but also two things. One, Ryan, did you really post that you want to call me the Silverback?
Yeah, it was just that photo of you screaming. You look like one. You literally look like one.
Corey's called the Gorilla. Are you trying to start some shit right now?
I'm good at spinning my marketing.
Of course,
I'm good at starting fights. What do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, no matter what Ryan says right now, that was 100% calculated.
Exactly. I was like, yo, seriously?
That's a boy right there. Ryan Bowen,
but yeah,
classic.
On my one down.
I gotta kind of close this out. But I clearly 100% am excited to pull Corey West. It will happen. I promise. When it happens, I'm gonna absolutely destroy Corey right-handed. Mark that down. Write that down. But it'll happen 100%. I promise. I promise it'll happen.
Just to take a little step out a moment, guys. Just had a message from Michael Todd. Mike's just put that in the chat. There's a lot of disrespect going on to Rebecca. To be honest, I haven't been following the chat, mate. Only the super chats and the actual mainstream of conversation. That is the case, guys. Please take it easy. We don't want any of that. Obviously, let's have some respect.
That's not how the internet works. That's
no disrespect, you guys. If anybody's my followers and they think they're talking for me and saying bad about Rebecca, please don't. 100% do not do that. Rebecca's awesome. Please don't, guys. Rebecca's great. I in no way hate them or have any bad blood with them. Please don't do that if you guys are like in my camp. Please don't do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's been weeded out. As I say, I haven't actually been following the chat, guys, but not about that, guys. Keep it down if we can. Particularly no way to get stuck into ladies. There's much better ways than that. Let's leave it alone. So, Lloyd Christmas with a super chat. Shout out to my boy Derek. We got you back always from Lloyd Christmas. So a lot of love for Derek.
They're never gonna end. I feel like they're never gonna end.
Now,
just gonna have to run.
Derek's like, warming his like, go. Just go.
I'm covered in chalk and I'm sweating. There's people staring at me.
Just go. Just say your internet dropped out. Just cut out randomly and go.
Yeah.
I love you guys to death. We're gonna figure this out. I promise. It'll all be settled, you guys. Neil, thanks for having me on. You guys are all awesome. Corey, I'll see you later.
Take it easy, Derek. Take it easy.
I apologize. Bye.
Taking the time and tuning in. SG Records, your studio looks pro as hell. Uncle John and Ryan. So a lot of love coming in for the guys there also. Really appreciate that. And Ryan, you've been putting a massive amount of effort into that, mate, haven't you?
A fair bit of work gone into it for sure.
Different camera angles. When do the shows start?
This weekend coming up, we'll have our first crack at a live show, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, we've got Jake Ward coming up, Aussie Armwrestler, to co-commentate it with me. Some good matches are going to happen. So we'll see if I can harness this tech. That's the challenge.
Paul's like first match.
Who's pulling?
Corey and Derek.
Yeah. Get them to Australia.
Get them flying.
Sam Burnett, Australia's 80 kilo rank 1, is pulling a super heavyweight for $500. Louis Toimoana, guy's 6'4", 137 kilos. They had a friggin' war last time they pulled in a casual super match. So it should be right up the sort of balanced match, perfect stylistic sort of sense. David versus Goliath sort of stuff. And then there's a 4-way between the best lightweights in Queensland. They're all going to be fighting for cash as well. So and featuring 2 more of the Burnetts. So and a 16-year-old kid that is a friggin' phenomenal guy, Jamie Barrett. So it'll be a bit of fun. But yeah, Aussie Armwrestler will be up here commentating with us, and yeah, hopefully, like I said, the technology works. That's the biggest challenge for me this weekend.
Well, immediately we've had a bid on the match from Jonathan Brader. I think Corey mentioned that a minute ago, and he's come. Derek, $2K to show up, travel and hotel paid April 23rd. So Jonathan Breeder's come flinging in with a pitch. The match.
That's enticing.
There you go. You see, look at Paul loving this. Absolutely loving it.
Time is money. How much time does it take? What's your per hour amount? Do the calculation. Tell your wife sorry.
Well, when I think about old guard and new guard and ranks, like I'm a fan of storyline, and I always feel like we have a responsibility to maximize the storyline of the sport, to maximize its growth for the fans, for everyone. We're all on the same mission. We need to maximize everything, and I feel like Derek and Corey are a very similar story. They're on a path of collision that will get there, but I feel like to maximize the story, in my personal opinion, drilling as deep as we can, both of them, into the old guard before they hit their ceilings, and then they turn and inevitably face each other. That to me is the biggest and most exciting story of the lot.
So we're gonna wait 3 years to arm wrestle? Is that
no. Derek's just got to. As soon as I just like you've got 2 drills going. You've got like you hit the ceiling in Todd, but you also then beat Aslanov, and Aslanov is someone that is in the European side of things is equally as respectable as Tim, probably in my opinion. Maybe a touch off, but I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. He might beat Tim, but I think that we just need to see Derek hit a ceiling amongst the old guard, and then you guys fight. To me, that's what I think maximizes the story. And I don't think that's 3 years. I think that's 6 months.
How many people do you think would buy the pay-per-view if we pulled right now?
Yeah, just plenty. But how many would buy it in 6 months? Just as many, if not more. I don't know. Like, it's just I think, I don't know. I think you don't need to go for it right now. I think Derek's drill is still going in. Let it go in, let it hit the rock, and then because that top four is very clear, as we said. Devin, Michael, Jerry, Todd Hutchins. That's the top four in North America. Then it's you and Derek. Could be five. That's great. There's no point in it's just people's opinions there, but we don't know that. But Derek just gets to hit that bedrock, and then he fights. I don't know. That's for me what maximizes the story. For me personally, I think that's the most exciting.
Welcome, Andrew Cobra Rhodes, to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Rhodes, good evening.
Uncle John Rocks. I'm Neil. How are you, man?
What up,
I'm all right, dude. Where's the snowman?
Hey, Coach.
Have you been out with the shovel?
What up, Derek? What up, Big Corey? Gorilla Corey, big as fuck, boy. I'm about to sit 113 down. Let Corey take the show. I hope he's good on film. Get your cardio up, son. I got work for you.
Look at the snow around Cobra's place. Show him a bit of this snow, son. Look at that. Hey, Jesus.
Well, there's the ultra. Yeah, no basketball being shot out here.
There you go.
How's that? Am I panning properly?
Not playing games there, mate. Not playing games. Been out with a shovel. Path with the snow blower.
It shrinks, man, from friggin' 9.5 inches folded to about 4 full extension. You know what I mean?
I know that weather well, mate.
It's horrible.
Well.
Hey, listen, I can't even. Never mind. I won't go there. But I wanted to share something with these arm wrestlers. I don't know if anyone noticed it. All they noticed was Derek's dominance of Tim. And I questioned. I had a little chat with Uncle John about it. I was saying, Uncle John, was Tim up to snuff and everything? There were no kinks in his armor and everything. Uncle John's like, yeah, I think he was right. What I saw from that kid Derek was after he had control, which I love to see, really good patience and control. He was never in a hurry. This is stuff that amateur hour doesn't know. You know, the guys that are coming with the big, powerful hits with no control. Derek had control, and he never gave a bit of it away, which is exceptional for a guy. I mean, I know Derek as a newbie, but the guy obviously he's going to be a force for a long time, and he's not a little fella either.
No, and he's a lifer, and he's very intelligent, very considered in his approach to the sport, and he's utterly immersed in arm wrestling. I mean, as deep as anyone.
Well, and another bump I wanted to give. I gave it a little chat or something. But Paul, I'm so proud of your comeuppance and your representation of our sport. It's like super fucking super, bro. Because you are a beast. When I had a feeling John was gonna bust you, but you never stopped, man. Even when he owned you, you were on, as Neil would say, the red line, nonstop, and really, really super. Neil, I told you 90 seconds. I think I'm about 80 over, but great.
Hey, Cobra, thank you.
I gotta go cooking dinner, man. We're doing sea scallops tonight. But
Cobra, thank you so much, Cobra. It means the world.
Yeah, bro. Listen to me. All you guys in this chat, if you really love arm wrestling, and I'm old school, so I don't know all the pumps of the algorithm and that, but smash the like button. There's 600 people in here and 200 likes on this thing. What is going on? Are you in or are you out? Ask yourself, every time these guys are giving their time away from their families, giving you arm wrestling chat, am I in or am I out? If you're in, at least smash the like button, for fuck's sake. It's ridiculous. All right, love you guys. I'll see you around.
Take care, Cobra. Be blessed. Be best.
Take it easy, Andy.
Love you, Cobra.
Yeah. Peace. Uncle John rocks.
Cobra
Oh,
rolls,
that
ladies
guy.
and gents. Flying drop in. Flying drop. So hey, Ray, I wanted to bring you back in, mate.
Yes, sir.
Because Chance Shaw was one of the first guys that talked a lot about the opportunity that was in front of him and not pulling the guys in North America who were up and comers, but rather than that, going out and picking up other people. He's about to pull in an enormous event, one of, if not the most impressive purist card we've seen maybe ever.
Ever.
Now you're going to be there out in Istanbul, and Chance is pulling not only an arm wrestler but also a master chef.
Chef Shedis.
That's the kid. How dangerous is Chef Shedis to Chance, and what does that do? Do you think that Chance really enhances his reputation if he comes over there and beats up on Sandris?
Yeah, if he wins, he earns a lot of serious European points, I think. Even though I think he's bigger, we know Sanders is usually under 110 kilo. That's his class. Chance is bigger, but it really doesn't matter. I think he comes in hungry. He comes in strong. I see a lane where he could win, but Sanders is so versatile. That endurance is ridiculous, and if he rests enough, he should be good. But I think it's an interesting match because Chance has really improved, and he has one that good top roll that he does, that one good move. And I'm interested. Can he take Sanders' hand? If he takes Sanders' hand, what happens next? Because for Sanders, it's 20 different fighting styles if needed. He just switches another mode on. And I'm interested. Will Chance move will be enough to fight all of them, and how will he deal in it in the match? So I'm interested in this match, really.
You looked at, let's talk about your opinions of Derek's performance through the week. With obviously Tim having not been active and obviously the ranking situation, him getting bumped up, do you believe that is an accurate reflection in North America? And do you believe that the guys in North America now would come in and the top guys smack out of 90% of the Europeans? We hear from Rob Vigent Jr. there's only a handful of the European lads, and we know who that is. We know that they're talking about Vitaly Lalatin, they're talking about Levan, and possibly a couple of others, and you can take your pick on who. I mean, obviously, a lot of momentum around Alex Kadetcha now. What did you learn about Derek there? Did you learn something you didn't know previously? Has that sort of altered your whole perception of Derek? Do you now put him in a completely different hemisphere if he comes over to Europe? If you're me and you're going to match him, Ray, so you're saying, okay, you know what? Derek's coming over and he's going to pull in Arm Wars, and who do I put him against? Do you now completely change everything that you thought about Derek based on what happened with Tim, or not much?
I think so. We didn't have, it's not just me. Most of us didn't have a lot of data on Derek, of pretty much where to rank him, what goes on. My biggest problem again is, when you're having these matches, the guys haven't been active. So I really don't know. Whatever happened was clear reflection of now. But in arm wrestling, you have to win match every time you go on table. Every time you can lose, you can win a guy 5 times and then you're gonna lose to him. So anything can happen. But with Derek, he's a giant. So stuck him up versus someone smaller or, with a smaller frame, he needs to be super powerful, and they need to stack up in a style really good. Right now, I think he is strong. He is good. But again, this is just one match with Tim Breslin. Tim didn't pull 2 years. Everyone knows it. He knows it. Everyone. This is why we need more. This is why, the super match era is going to be the weirdest thing ever. Because if we're just focusing on that, it's the weirdest thing ever. Because back in the day, Neil, you remember back in the day when you wanted to be you wanted to be the guy or you wanted to test some guys, you didn't have to talk with promoters. You don't have to wait for anyone to send you a message. You just show up to competition and the strongest guys were there.
Yes.
And now if they are not there, either, like, in my opinion, the only reason you should not be pulling the toughest guys in the country in the toughest tournaments or any tournaments is when you have a match to prepare for. And you know you're gonna have, you have some real mission, you focus on that mission. Any other time, you just go to the tournament. You
Right.
go to Zloty, go to WAF Worlds.
I think that's such a good point, Ray. And we touched on it earlier. Like let's say, arm wrestling requires you to travel a substantial amount of time. How many, or like how distance or whatever, how many times can you do that per year? And what are you going to do it for? If it's a head-to-head match, like, how do you approach that with the same level of intensity for your camp as you do for going to nationals, worlds, whatever, where you know that there's going to be a room full of the baddest dudes?
Not one.
All of them. Yeah. You go to camp, your camp starts 12 weeks, 16 weeks ahead. You eat right, you make your weight. If you're super, you get as big as you possibly can, and you come in and now this is it. This is the Olympics. But now we're in an era where you're supposed to prepare for those same 12 weeks, 7 times a year, to pull whatever promoter wants you to pull. And it's really, really tricky. And it's tricky to value it the same way.
Exactly. Because it's not the same thing. It really isn't the same thing. So I could be fresh in 2 weeks and I can pull against some super matches after Arm Wars. I don't have to prepare that much. I would only need some really long time if I know the guy is really like hard for me to beat. If I believe in myself, why the hell should I wait? All you need to be is healthy, and just keep going. Do the John Brazang thing, pull every month if you can, and still 80% winning rate. Come on. So we need tournaments. I can't wait for big tournaments and guys to show up. Now we're in a different era. Everyone wants that money. Everyone wants something. Like for me, I will say really honestly, I'm more interested in pulling super matches if they're fun, because I don't want to be ranked. I'm not going for that title. I don't care. But if I have time, I will prepare and go to WAF Worlds or anything else. I will do that. But if I have something, because those are not my priorities. If you want to be that fucking man, you should not be thinking. You should just be pulling until you get better. Do what John Brazang did. And then 10 years looking back, no one's going to say, well, he was preparing for this match, so he couldn't do this. So he took off 3 months from that. Shut the F up and just go and pull. I think we're in a weird state. We're in a really weird state. And I don't see it's great for promoter. And it's maybe great for few athletes, but not everyone can live like this. It's unsustainable, in my opinion. Now we're in a there's going to be so many pay-per-views, which are great. I think they are great, but the price should be right and according to arm wrestling.
Right. And that, all of this conversation started with a rankings list, right? Yeah. So imagine you're an aspiring arm wrestler right now. You're not ranked, but you're a solid pro or whatever you consider it, wherever you're at. And you want to be on that top 20, that top 10. Where is your lane? Where is your avenue? If there's no tournament, how do you even get ranked?
No, imagine there are tournaments, but top guys are not going there.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, we just killed the sport. Thank you. Bye.
The top guys will be back. It's just that the tournaments have been. Been so.
Please buy my pay-per-view.
Tournaments will be as if the tournaments won't be back, right? As the instant if the world ever gets back to travel without restriction, the tournaments will be back.
Right. I mean, but like, so we're talking about the North American rankings, and we don't have nationals, Ryan. Like, it's gone. And no one, like, we're trying to find a way as a group and a collective to resurrect it in like a decent way.
So the Arnolds won't draw the big guys.
It's up in the air with the code. Like, I'm not going, and like defending, because I don't know if it's even like, I didn't know if it was happening. The emails didn't come out. We didn't know.
The complexity,
so we're all booking other stuff
that surrounds travel in the post-COVID era.
Yeah.
I hope everything goes
everything
back,
towards super matches.
at least to something, and we keep the good things, but we improve on those things, because there's like, this is the same conversation we have, like, world champs from Kazakhstan that no one knows about, and could destroy most of the arm wrestlers on the planet, and they're okay with that because all they want to do is prove they're number one. They don't care about how many Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok followers they have. All they want to prove is that they're the best arm wrestler. So they don't have to play all this drama. They just show up, win the title, and most likely they're the man. And you cannot have the claim to the throne when you don't beat the king.
Does Kazakhstan, are those athletes sponsored, or is there any type of reward for?
Oh yeah, they're
there's a bunch of them coming to Australia for over the top. Just the president of the Australian Arm Wrestling Federation, Phil Rasmussen, was just this week promoting the over the top tournament in April, which is the $10,000 first prize.
Ryan, very important point. Don't let them near Brisbane.
Well, they're coming. They're coming. Apparently, there's 10 Kazakhs coming. So.
Yeah,
they're coming back with they're coming back with the Brisbane gamma radiation.
Yeah,
it'd be 7 Kazakhstan.
You know about the Kazakhs, don't you? You know how good they are, like unenhanced. Seriously, you let someone like Talbot stand within 100 miles of Brisbane.
Everybody's fucked.
Well, I hope he comes. Like I said, the invitations are there for all the internationals, and the money's decent enough. And at the end of the day, money is what will make people turn up to tournaments.
Yep.
If prestige is gone, money will always win. And so if there's
wait a minute, though, Ryan, what is it? 10,000 Oz dollars
to the winner.
Yeah, but the Oz dollars, yeah.
$3,000 to second place, $1,000. Yeah, $10,000, which is what, 7,000 US.
Yeah. Yeah, is that what it is? Because Oz dollars. Corey can't get his beard clipped and waxed for that.
Anyway, it's going to be a tournament. You watch, and it will for Australia. We look at the ecosystem of Australia. Everyone will be there that can be, with the exception of the people that their state law or whatever is going to prevent them. And again, it highlights the main problem of the last 2 years has been bullshit government laws and state laws preventing these things from happening. The arm wrestlers will turn up once travel's back and money's there. Tournaments will be back, and they just because money wins at the end of the day.
Well, money does win, but the other thing that we have to remember is that at this point, one of the major things driving viewership is the super matches.
For sure.
Tournaments are notoriously difficult to make entertaining over a period of time.
Tragically.
I cannot agree more, but we cannot make all about super matches.
I agree, but I just don't know what the answer is.
Right.
No, there should be some middle ground. We should have big tournaments. We should the problem in USA, and I'm not from USA, but the problem is division. Yeah, I know that's a shocker. But three different rankings, three different national federations, three different nationals. That's the problem.
Right. But now, Ray, there's no national federations.
Even better.
There's zero. They unified, Ray. They unified and then they dissolved.
Really?
That's why I keep saying it. There's no nationals in the United States. There hasn't been a national since 2016, I believe. Nothing. Travis spun one up, NAL. That's it. But we don't even know. So like the rankings, when you look at the rankings as they associate to nationals, if we had nationals, we would have data.
Yeah.
But we just have a bunch of guys pulling super matches or losing a match against so-and-so who aren't even in the same weight classes, and you're trying to take anecdotal data.
What's the dollar figure that would make the best of the USA turn up for a genuine, call it a national title? So you put me back into my promoter space here and everything. And I don't think it's $1. I don't think it's a dollar amount, because the dollar amount is the thing that, like, when you get hit up for 20 super matches and you're looking at your schedule, what you have to cancel, what you have to move around, then you start looking at the dollar amount, in my opinion. The USAA provided a dollar amount to nationals, and the payouts were like 300, 200, and 100. Not a lot. That, in my opinion, that wasn't the driver that got people to nationals. AAA gave medals, and their numbers were similar. So I think it's the prestige.
And the problem is when everything dissolves, how do you generate back the prestige?
Exactly. It's super easy. How I would.
When just Ryan, when Paul says it's not a dollar amount, he means not an Oz dollar.
Just converted in your.
Yeah, 300. Yeah, I don't know what.
Pretty easy. Make nationals and just rank people that are there.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't come, it's done.
Alan Kedrick's coming with a super chat, and he's put, by what logic is Chance creating the standings? Like what the Sandwich will destroy him on the 12th of February. In my opinion, Chance is below Corey and Derek.
Let Corey answer that, because I think Corey's probably more privy to the rules on the rankings than me, even, because I just kind of listen.
But hey, it's good that someone does the rankings, because they make good talking points and things like that. The problem is that always, you look at this like these guys never pulled. These guys never pulled. And I think that is the big problem we need to address in arm wrestling. If everyone's pulling super matches, some of the guys will never meet. It's ridiculous because there's just too many people. And someone comes in and he slays someone, pretty much destroys someone who's ranked 7. He was not even ranked. You're like, ooh, up.
Neil, can you ask a poll right now? Can you just ask our 714 people to rank Corey, Derek, and Chance? Just vote for the person that I think is the highest ranked out of those 3. We'll see what these views.
That's awesome. Do that. That's awesome.
It'll definitely be Derek.
My prediction is the fans are going to say Derek, Corey, Chance. That's my prediction.
Know. Yeah, I don't
Derek
know.
and Corey are going to be very close. Very
close.
So
put all 3 names in the chat, not just spam Derek.
So choose the highest ranked out of these 3 guys and list all 3 names.
And keep in mind, guys, when you're ranking this, that Corey is he trains with Michael. So think Styles, and think how hard it is to top roll Corey.
Okay, and while we're waiting for those results to come in, we're going to knock over some super chats.
Hey, Neil.
Mizell's, go, brother.
Hey, I got to get out of here. I got to head to practice.
Exactly.
Oh, you got to see the results of this poll.
Getting hungry.
Corey, mate, thank you so much for your time, mate. Thanks for coming on the fix. Been an honor and a pleasure, brother.
Yeah.
Later, man. Thanks for having me.
Take care, fellas.
Good man.
So Mizell Jador has come in with a super chat. He's put, what's the link for the polos? Mate, they'll be going on sale shortly. He's put, great win for Derek. Corey versus Jerry in Arm Wars. Okay. Devon's Classy Finger with a super chat. There are over 700 people here and only 250 likes. Give the thumbs up. It isn't that much work. Lots of love from Austria. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your super chat.
You're 412 now, so they've picked it up.
Flown up. Henry Bowerslaw with a super chat we're all going to love. Ryan's wrist has grown approximately 0.2 millimeters during this live. And Ray's has grown by 4. Okay. Have you done any measurements this week?
Look at the left and right.
You can't. Oh, it's like a fiddler crab.
Very different.
This looks so big.
So Z's guitar account with a super chat. My boy Hermes is on pace to have more matches in 2022, other than the top ranked pullers, and will probably have in the next 5 years combined. Oof. To be fair, he is active. Also, that new pound for pound sign is mega hot. Another fan there, mate.
It is hot.
Z's guitar account. John Doe. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Could Chance defeat Bowen at this point? Also, when is Uncle John going to finish off the Bowen replication with his own neon sign? Go, Neil. Cheers, Joe.
How many Australian dollars was that sign, Ryan?
1,000.
That was about 500 Australian dollars.
Well, that's not too bad, but I need like 10,000, 20,000 more subs to get that Bowen money rolling.
The kind of Bowen money in there. Mate, I'm just going to go back to Mr. Perkley 80's super chat and reiterate what he actually said. He's put, sorry I was late, taking a shit and avoiding the kids. That's why we love him. It's the kind of quality we get on the show.
Chance is polling at 1%. Oof.
Yeah, it's looking pretty pretty clear who's the winner on the fan poll.
What happens if Chance?
What's it say?
beats
What's it say?
Sanders?
Derek 70%.
Mm.
Yeah, 70.
How far up does Chance go if he beats Sanders?
Yeah, just to let everybody know.
That
we
would
got-
make it interesting. That
It's
would make it-
styles. These guys are styles based.
Yeah.
They're styles based. So if Corey is to beat Derek, in my opinion, unless his post, or if Derek is to beat Corey, his clean top roll and post has to be super elite. Corey is extremely hard to top roll. He is going to force you into a weird side pressure hook lane, like high hook. Like structurally, it's a really weird match. And the reason I'm interested in it, because I want to see where Derek's inside power is.
Mm.
And Corey's healthy.
I will rank them. You know, I don't do rankings, but I will rank them just by no knowledge at all. I think Corey, Derek, and Chance.
So you've got Corey first.
Yeah.
Then Derek, then Chance.
Yeah.
Okay, I disagree with that ranking slightly, I think. Yeah.
I'm just going by everything that Paul said. So
Yeah, at the moment, yeah, just to let people know at the moment.
if Ryan
Derek,
would say the same things, I would be like, I don't know.
6% for Derek. Just obviously he's been super active of late. Corey, 32%. Chance, 2%. He's grown by that 1%.
Double.
Still
That's
looking
good.
pretty
That's a
physical.
good game.
Yeah. Let's knock over the
Good
super chat
percentage
for
game.
Coliseum Arm Wrestling. Thanks for your super chat, mates. But tournaments are what create super matches through scarcity. Super matches should be an annual Super Bowl event to scratch those itches.
Yep.
Okay.
I think super matches, like, either we're making entertainment, which are good super matches with the guys that really stack up good and, armor quality, or if two guys having a tournament, like 20 guys having a tournament, and number one needs to have a match with number 3 because number 3 was winning, but then he got destroyed in some rounds, but he still thinks he can beat him. Makes sense to make that match. If number 1 destroyed number 2 pretty much easily, there's no need for that match. So you kind of need to look at the tournament, the story of the tournament, and you can figure out who to put against. And that's for rankings, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes, armor, we're not doing armors for rankings.
No.
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 Yeah.
No, we're doing Arm Wars for watch this.
For
What-
fucking wars is what we do that shit
Yeah.
for.
Sit down.
I want my new nickname to be War. Just War.
Just that.
I come up and they're like, War. Neil, just
You're
War.
too baby faced for that. You just too baby faced.
I will have like a bald head with some tattoos on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do
I'm
it.
gonna get all of Team Latvia to beat the shit out of him, so that he looks a little,
A
Just
little rough around
fluffy
the edge.
face.
yeah, get himself a good hiding. Mind you, you fly him over to Brisbane, mate. Get him near the nucleus.
Yeah.
He can, he can immerse himself in all that essence of man. Before you know it, he'll be picking up the
Well,
bloody.
there is. I
then
would
he'll
love
come out
to fly.
repping.
I'd love to fly all the Latvians over at some point. If business keeps growing, I'd love to do it. I'd love to see.
We're
Coach
good.
Ray
We're good,
pull
Ryan. Ryan, chill, man. We're good. I don't want to go to the source. I'm kidding.
Don't need to be
over.
near
Who would you? If you could choose who to pull out of me, Jordan Davis, Sam Burnett, who would you pick? Ray.
So you're gonna give me you're gonna give me.
No, I'm just
Hey,
curious who you
he's
choose.
he's pitching for results.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Well,
comment.
I think I have to pull
No,
you.
I'm not.
Oh, the Redbeard works in mysterious ways, Raymond.
Well,
Never trust Redbeard. Redbeard works in mysterious ways.
30.
I already know what happened. I could read it. That
Hey,
teaser gave away way too much body language.
Don't trust Redbeard.
your body language. We're gonna set the weight cap for 75 kilos. None of us can hit that. So
I was gonna say.
both of us
Same
fail epically.
And Burnett can make 75.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm pulling you.
Oh yeah, that's,
Ryan, we
that's a
need
long-
to have a match at some point. You know.
Oh, Ray's chasing your ass.
I agree. I think you and I 100% we need to pull in a match. Just even if it's just
Picks off.
friggin'
Yeah.
Just a whatever YouTube match.
Yeah.
I don't care. Oh,
Just,
happily.
Orgasm. People with orgasm.
absolute quality.
Oh, goodness.
So we Clocks 93's just come in with a super chat. Kolchak versus Plamen in Arm Wars. Are they active this weekend? Either of those on the card at Istanbul?
No, but Kolchak is 100 kilo puller and Plamen is 85 kilo puller.
Yeah.
Do some math, guys. So
we're going to get onto that though. I'll just knock over this last super chat and I want to talk about the Istanbul event. So Arfu is just come in with a super chat. Neil, I saw Peter, Paul and Moses playing Ring Around the Roses and I'll shoot any man who says it isn't so. Thanks for your super chat, mate. Absolute quality. Now, it would be a crime to not touch on what's coming up this weekend. Ray, for anybody who's been living under a rock, just give people a bit of build-up and a bit of background on what the mighty Engin Terzi has got planned this weekend, this coming weekend over in Istanbul.
yeah, if someone can find from the admin's link to the pay-per-view. So it's very hard to stop Engin from making more matches.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of settle at 14, 15. I really hope everyone makes it. It's the top pullers from USA, top pullers from the world. The idea at start was just to do East versus West, but somehow Engin's just like, how about we put WAF champ versus WAF champ? We'll have like Yusuf, 65 kilo right hand world champ versus Oleg Cherkasov, 70 kilo world champ.
Awesome.
I think, war. That's a war.
Awesome.
And there's
stuff.
Fia versus Slovakian Martinkovic girl. There's so many matches. We're not even talking about, Zaluya versus John and Gennady versus Todd. It's Todd versus Tsonev. Just, I cannot stop. It's so many different matches.
So many purist arm wrestler classics on here.
I'm going to give you.
Just go off.
Yeah. We want to know who's strongest, and we want to figure out, like, two WAF champs are facing each other. Maybe 70 kilo guy, 65 kilo guy can beat 70 kilo guy. Wouldn't that be impressive? Because now you're just, you're way ahead of everyone in your class, and you can beat even the top class. So I think that's an interesting thing we have to look forward. Every match going to be best of 5. So 3 wins and done. So not like last time, no big breaks. We're working together with Core Sports. Core Sports, are they going to do their magic? I should be commentating, maybe with Engin, maybe with Giannis. We really don't know yet. We will figure it out. I'll get interviews with everyone there. We want so Engin has invested this in from himself to this event. The idea is to make event will not make money. The idea is that nothing will make money. None of the money will go to anyone's pocket. So if we have a surplus, everything will go to the next event. So the idea is to cover whatever is for every athlete is differently. Either they're going to get paid or they're going to get covered their flight expenses, things like that. Everything goes to the athletes.
That's the way to do it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, because Engin loves
the links are now going into the chat, guys. For anybody, if you want.
If you haven't bought it, please support the sport, buy it, and watch it. You can bring your team and watch it together. We just want more people to be involved in this. Oh, Schoolboy is pulling Evan Burgoyne. Come on, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there's so much more. So the list of all the times will go out next week. So you pretty much know when you tune in when the match you want is going to happen. And we're going to move maybe faster. Some matches going to take longer time, like Tsonev and Todd. They're going to sit in that hook for days. So
do you have the order of the? I mean, you've got guys like Artem Morozov against Yevgeny
Prudnik and
Betkili, Jacques.
And Tobias.
Unbelievable matches.
It's top of the crop. Some of the biggest,
order, mate?
Strongest.
What's the because this is going to run for a crazy amount of time. Do you have like the match order?
Yeah, it's going to come out next week. We're going to post it in every forum. I'm going to post it on my page everywhere, and we hope everyone will posted it. So it's going to be 4-hour event at least. So you're going to get drunk by the time you see Zaloyev and John. You're going to be like, this is epic. So I hope everyone tunes in. We will have people working if someone tries to live stream it. Like the King of the Table, there were some people from Armwrestling community that I know that were doing live streams pretty much, screen recording and put it on their YouTube.
Yeah.
We're such a small community. We should not be eating each other. We should be helping, because more people from outside will see it, the way better. I think it's 15 different nations competing in this event, and there's so many different arm wrestlers that you love that everyone can enjoy. So support the sport, watch it, enjoy it, and I hope it kills. I really hope it does.
It's not that expensive either, guys. I mean,
no.
Like, we're talking about a couple bucks.
For that card, it's not like King of the Table. You had 3 matches. You look forward. You're like, oh, this is 15 matches that just gonna. Oleg Jok is coming back to pull Betkilioniani.
The biggest super match card in history. It's
ever.
It's a monster. If you're talking about purest names assembled
in 20 minutes, I'll remember some more names. So I'm just shouting out.
There's a ridiculous amount of matches on this. I mean, it's going to be one of those cards that I think when you tune in, it'll be like you'll watch a couple of matches and you'll be looking forward to one of the big matches later on that's in your mind. And one will just pop up and you'll be like, holy shit, this is, you won't even know that that's going on, and it's a killer. There's just so many matches that are going to be awesome. They're really interesting.
So we hope this is successful, because if it's not, pretty much there's not going to be the 3rd edition, East versus West, or it's going to be super small and not as big, not as ambitious. So if it kills, next time we're gonna do less matches for sure. We're gonna sit down with Engin, do an intervention, but more like the idea. Like Engin is obsessed with. He's like, who would win in this match? I want to know who would, because he still is like, it doesn't matter how Tsonev and Todd goes. We still want to see Sasha or Sasha versus Zeluya. We want to see those matches. So, and sometimes there's, they're pulling out the different categories, in WAF worlds, they don't come, they cannot go to Zloty if you're pulling WAF. So all that problem is kind of getting solved here, and for the fans, for true fans.
Yeah, this is definitely a purist event. There's no doubt about that. For the purist arm wrestling fans, this is something special, something unique, and I hope it's an absolute cracker. You're going to be knackered as well, mate, because that's a lot of matches.
Oh, that's I see chat is already like now buying, or like you will never get your money's worth out of anything. You're paying less than $1 for a match, and
it's a lot of money in Australia. In Australia, it's like $1,000.
You can get 7 signs by that. Like that.
Yeah, in US, it's like a tenner.
Yeah.
Look, I paid Ryan Bowen $5 for Lachlan versus Todd and Brandon Alcessor versus Dad Bod Bajent. I'll pay $10 for this all day.
And this is taking place next Saturday, isn't it, Ray?
Yeah, next Saturday.
So next Sunday's fix is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I'm going to be home for that. So I'm leaving on Thursday, and on, I think in the evening on Sunday, I'm going to be here. So pretty much, if I'm alive,
Is that because your girl's coming back, and she'll be like, you better be
coming back tomorrow. So
okay.
Yeah.
And when do you go to Istanbul?
Till Thursday. Then I have some 3-day rest,
Yeah. Hey. Like you work. Chef Shedis, get him round. A couple of candles on the table. Bit of lighting like Ryan had earlier. Who knows what can happen? Send the cats to the pitches. Hey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so,
gents, we've been on here for nearly 2 hours. Go, Ray. Sorry, you were going to go with one there.
Everyone we had GoFundMe page that raised like, I don't know, $18,000, something like that, which was pretty good what we wanted. Everyone who donated over 100, they will have their t-shirts signed by all the athletes and the pay-per-view codes. And I think everyone who did $25 donation as well. So all those are going to be sent out next week. Don't worry about it. And I'm really excited.
Just before we get off that, what's your favorite match? If you could pick one match that is the absolute banger that you want to watch more than any other on the Istanbul card, what would you go for? And we're going to go round on this.
I think Yusuf versus Cherkasso, because I though Cherkasso is something special, and Yusuf like pretty much demolished everyone. Yusuf, I cannot say his last name, I'm sorry, but Yusuf from Turkey, he's the only one of two guys that had victories over Božidar Simonov in a hook last year.
Yeah, without it's a mega match, and there's Uncle John.
The match I care about, two matches that I care about the most.
No, one.
Well,
I have to say one.
You can still go to, come on, it's Uncle John. He's got a touch and everything.
Well, I cannot not mention the fact that Evan Burgoyne is going to destroy Schoolboy and send him back to elementary school. We all know that's going to happen.
Ouch.
But John Thompson is a lot more interested in Sandra Status versus Chance Shaw. Having met Sandris a couple times, I really like Sandris. I got a lot of respect for Sandris. But I like Chance too. Chance is my boy too. So it's kind of these two guys. And one day I'm like, Chance has got it. And then the other day I'm like, God damn it, Sandris is freaking good. And I don't know where it's going to go. So I hope that they just blast each other right into infinity. I'm really hyped up about that one.
Ryan.
I got Michael Todd and Gennady Kvikvini as the one I'm looking forward to most.
No,
I think there's a lot of emotion on the table there, and I just can't wait to see how it boils
That's a
over.
screamer. That's a screamer.
Well, that's been in the works a number of times.
Yeah.
And I think it'll separate the clans, that one. I really, really do. I think that will separate the clans. So we'll see. I mean, who's everybody got on that one? I'm taking it you're going with Michael, right? Because you
I do think Michael is the strong favorite, but there's just so much emotion in this, and there's so much that, I mean, Gennady was quiet when he pulled Hermes, but Gennady is typically a fiery guy, and I feel like Gennady has made a lot of social media posts in the past that he could beat Michael's King's move, and I think that he believes in himself, and so I think we're going to see fired up Gennady, and we're going to see fired up emotional Michael, and it could just be intense, and I can't wait.
Well, Michael said sorry, go John.
Michael said on his live stream today that he is no longer doing all the pancakes. He's only doing some of the pancakes. His words, not mine. So I don't know.
No comment.
Does that mean he's not got the maple syrup on him or something? I don't know.
That's his words. He says, I don't believe I need to do the pancakes. And then he says, well, I'm not saying I'm not doing any pancakes, but I'm not doing all the pancakes. His words, not mine.
Fair enough. Last but by no means least, the White Oak. Paul, then, who have you got?
Man, I don't know. I don't know.
What's your favorite match
to back up? Yeah.
What's the one you're deeply invested in, or most deeply invested in?
Invested. I mean, I'm really interested to see how John fares.
I thought you might be.
I'm very interested, and I'm very behind John. Also rooting for my buddy Schoolboy, and I'm really interested to also see how Todd does in that war. So I mean, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the card completely. It's I mean, what else? Like you talk about like the pay-per-view, how much it costs and how much you get. Like, I don't even know all the matches.
Everyone's gonna get so drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
like,
that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Drunk Ray, commentator.
Oh, imagine that. They did.
Do it. You won't.
Could happen, mate.
It could happen. I mean, just
me and Todd's gonna get
you get drunk and sitting next to Evan. If Evan walks past, Evan will be prepping so hard.
Yeah.
Just his aura walking past you pissed.
Evan,
I want to see Borrego full RVJ and commentate the whole thing.
Get it done. Get it done, Ray. You know, it makes sense. It'd be highly entertaining. We'd all be behind you, man. We will want you to do it. Just get stuck in there. Early doors. Get on it. Evan style. See what you end up with at the end of the night. That'll be some funny stuff right there. White Wolf with a super chat. What's up, fixers? Let's get all 5 of you in an elimination match live on a Sunday. Do we need to handicap? Now I'll pay-per-view that. It's on. Have to get in house. We can get that done. Red Rocket Pig with a super chat. Evan will feed Schoolboy a beer out of a sippy cup. Oh, you do feel that something really bad could go down with that, don't you?
I watched that video finally where he's sitting by the fire drinking wine.
Mate, anything could happen. Anything could happen. I don't trust Evan. Anything could happen. That could be the best match of the day without any arm wrestling, in my opinion. We'll see. So Brad Butler, with it, please don't send any more super chats, guys, as well, because we're going to let these guys get on with the day in a moment. But Brad Butler with a super chat, just a couple because of dollars because of Arm Wars. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate your support. Bruce Smith, he's put the winner of the Gennady Michael match will take on 2018 Levin Killing Bowen. Hey, you never answered whether you think you could smack Chance about right now.
Well, Chance, since I pulled him into 2020, I think he's got, I don't know, he's gotten a lot bigger. So
bigger.
You'd probably give him the edge, the fact that he's got bigger. I remember the lane, and I've gotten stronger since then as well. So everyone's getting stronger all the time. I don't know, he's packed on a fair bit. I don't know. It wouldn't be, I'd give him the edge as the favorite, but I know exactly where the lane is that worked for me. So I would go there again, and it'd probably be close.
He switched it though too. Like he's different. He's still a pure top roller.
Say he's the favorite, given the lane, given the size development. The size development, I think he's. I don't know if he's pancaking or not, but his size and seriousness seems to have taken a step up. So given that, and given that I'm 94 kilos now, I think that he would have the edge. But like I said, that lane is still there. And at the end of the day, if you get derailed in the wrist, the rest of that fundamental power seems to not matter so much. So yeah, we'd see.
I can't wait till Sanders loses.
Yeah, that's going to be a long flight back.
That's going to be so
awesome. My God, that's going to be a long flight back when he gets handed his ass. If Chef Shedis loses, that will be bad.
Well, Chef Shedis is a drama queen also, so
be an interesting day. Just on that point, Clock's 93, come back with a response to you there, Ray. But Plamen is 90 kilos, and they can both agree on a weight.
Okay, 90 kilos. Sorry, yeah, he pulled 90.
Is Evan going to be safe in Turkey in terms of laws? Like, is he going to end up in a prison or what?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, it could definitely happen.
Someone needs to. I hope someone's managing him during that trip.
Yeah, you need to watch.
It's not going to be me
or something. I mean, bad things could. You'd be like, no, Evan, no, don't. You don't want that.
We need like, the collar for dogs with the electricity. Every time she's like, okay.
You don't need that in your life. You really don't. It would be bad. Ladies and gents, we're going to wrap it up right about there. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Remember, The Fix is brought to you by Western Survivor Beef Jerky, ladies and gents. The greatest beef jerky in the world. The best. If you haven't tried this stuff yet, get on it. Western Survivor is the one. www.westernsurvivor.ca. Trust me, the wizard's tits. Right there. And our other major supporter of the channel, armwrestlingforums.com. Now, John, give us a bit of background on Arm Wrestling Forums, mate. Involved with your channel as well, and an excellent place to go and get into the real thick of conversation on arm wrestling.
So Arm Wrestling Forums is run by this guy, Ryan Turner. He gives me a call. He's like, hey, I like your channel. I'm trying to bring back something to arm wrestling that's not Facebook, that's not, all the shenanigans with Zuckerberg. And when I think about that, I think about the old message boards, and that's what Arm Wrestling Forums is. And since January, like a lot of people over there, a lot of comments. So if you're not on Facebook and you still want to interact and you still want to talk some shit, or you want to learn something or whatever, that's where it is, man. Armwrestlingforums.com. They actually were a big part of the help of me getting to Arm Wars with their sponsorship. So head on over, boys. It's good times.
Armwrestlingforums.com, guys. Get over there and let the chat continue. I want to say a massive thanks to everybody that's joined us on the show tonight. Big thanks to Uncle John. Get over and sub to Uncle John's channel. You have no idea what is coming from this guy from the Iron House. Holy shit. Very similar situation for Ray. Incredible stuff coming. Everybody knows the voice of arm wrestling. Get over there get subbed, whatever you want from arm wrestling. If you're a beginner, if you're an experienced pro, if you're looking for training, if you're looking for techniques on how you can train better, it's all there for you, mapped out from this man. So get over and sub to the voice of arm wrestling. The White Oak, Lethal Arms, some of the best apparel in the game as well. Get yourself over there, get subbed, and you can see what makes that man that chiseled in that kind of lighting. And that's when he's not oiled up, ladies and gents. It's when he's not oiled up. And last but by no means least, in his new lighting, his new studio, which will soon host the Pound for Pound series, with his wrists growing by the minute, it's Redbeard, Ryan Bowen. Pound for Pound arm wrestling, guys. Get over there and support Ryan. Again, you can pretty much get everything you need for arm wrestling from this fella and more. Working very hard on it. Full-time professional arm wrestler, loves the game. Get over and back Pound for Pound. Little couple of notes for people, for those who've been messaging about the various shirts. All the Arm Wars apparel will be in the description. You can get it there. You can get it on the new Arm Wars channel. Please go over and sub to the new Arm Wars channel, guys. Reality Check films coming out all the time, and then we'll be moving on to Iron House. Couple of notes. The Iron Dick shirts are back in stock. The Three-Legged Shadow shirts are back in stock. The original Fix shirt is back in stock, and the links will be in the description. Guys, this was The Fix, episode 92. Thanks to all of you. Stay strong, stay stoic, mother fluffers, and until we see you next time, biggity bong. There we go, guys. We're clear.
Beauty.